Coral reefs are some of the most vulnerable ecosystems on Earth. But did you know that you can help save the world's coral reefs by just listening with this new artificial intelligence or AI project? Yes, you heard it right. Google Arts and Culture has partnered with marine biologists and ecologists to jumpstart the Calling in Our Corals project. It basically taps into the power of AI to help monitor the health of coral reefs. And to tell us more about this innovative sound solution, joining us now via Zoom is Amit Sood. He's the director of Google Arts and Culture. Good morning, Amit.
Magandang umaga. Thank you for having
Hey.
me.
Hey, thanks for joining us. It's such a wonderful and interesting project, I have to say. Underline on interesting. Before we go into the details, and I'd love to talk more about this, tell us first about the driving force behind the project. What pushed you guys at Google to tap into AI and involve the public in this endeavor?
Well, what really pushed us is, we've always had a mission since we started Google Arts and Culture to really bridge, how technology can be used at the service of preservation, of culture, of nature. And I think the people who really pushed us for this project are the marine scientists who are involved in this project and who are the experts. And that's, Mary Sharipo from the Silliman University in the Philippines and Steve Simpson from the University of Bristol. They really were the catalyst for this initiative.
Right. The wonderful thing I think about this project is you obviously have great brains, behind this, but it really does sort of call in everybody, all citizens, all members of the world to sort of take part in this experiment. And it is sort of a citizens experiment where we can all sort of lend a hand. How does it work?
Well, I think, it is citizens who are going to actually, contribute to preservation in a big way. I mean, for me personally, falling in love with coral reefs actually happened in the Philippines when I was in Palawan many, many years ago. And so I
Right.
see the power when you actually are, in touch with nature in that way and you see what is happening that get the passion to do more about it. And I think the way calling in the corals works is, the marine scientists they've been coming to us and saying that they needed support listening to hundreds of hours of audio recordings that they've been taking at the reefs. And the only way that you can parse through hundreds of hours of recordings, is through citizen contribution. And
Right.
so the project is educational. It's also people can learn more about the scientists' work. People can learn how to recognize sounds of fish and marine animals living in the coral reefs. And then people can contribute to the researchers' ongoing work by listening to 30-second clips at the reef by clicking, I heard something. So it's quite a straightforward, frictionless experience to contribute to something meaningful.
And this is quite huge. I mean, we've got hydrophones placed on coral reefs around protected areas around all over the world. We've got the Philippines, of course, Australia, Indonesia, the US, Panama, Sweden. And these devices are basically recording the sounds of marine life. Have a listen now. I mean, we're hearing what I believe a healthy coral reef sounds like. And that's contrasted with, coral reef in distress. There's a very palpable difference between the kind of, audio cues you hear. All of the life there has a particular sound, and we've got, the opportunity to sort of lend a hand by just training our ears to recognize these sounds, and again, also training AI eventually to help recognize these sounds. Do I have that correct? Is that what we're trying to do here? We're lending a hand, but at the same time helping to train the AI?
Exactly. I think what any AI model depends on is data. And I think what we are contributing to is refinement of this model that the researchers can then use for furthering the research. That is the core part of this initiative, is that every click actually is going into training of the model.
Right, there you go. Well, you've got the hydrophones in all sorts of beautiful places that we really should be extending all these efforts to preserve. I believe you've got hydrophones in Danugan Island, you've got some in Siquijor, both beautiful places that I've had the great honor to actually see. And I have to say, when you experience these places, you do want to sort of do everything you can to help see to it that these places flourish. Apart from actually going out to seeing these places, how can people participate? You don't have to put in a lot of work. You can just sit back and actually enjoy the audio experience, can't you?
Yeah, it's actually, it's quite a relaxing experience to listen to
Yeah.
fish sounds,
Yeah.
in the middle of your day. And I think another way I look at it is like it's your mini breaks that you can fill
Mhm.
by contributing to something important. I think, what the scientists have told us is that just for the Philippines locations, people have already contributed over 100 working days. And, in the Philippines, the scientists have seen active taps from citizens of fish sounds that equals to over 500,000 potential fish. So,
Wow.
it's not asking a lot of you, it's
Mm.
asking a little. And I think that's what's important.
And listen, I don't even think that it's just the environment that benefits here. I mean, surely there's a benefit for you to sort of kick back and have a listen to the relaxing sounds of a coral reef, right?
Totally. I mean, hopefully that gives you also desire to,
Yeah.
participate in other initiatives that are there to protect marine heritage. Because, I think this is how you get people, I hope, more interested into understanding about the preservation of not just reefs, but, large marine ecosystems.
All right. I mean, what's going to be the measure of the success of the program? How long is it going to run for? Do we have hours and hours of audio material to listen to? Is it live? What will be the end point of this experiment?
Well, I think that really depends on the research community and the researchers, because they are continuing to gather more and more of this audio recordings, and they need contribution from people like us to help them. So I think this will be an ongoing effort for a bit, I hope. And I think more locations could be added, more refinement of the experience, and then of course the most important part is understanding how the research is benefiting the reef, because you also want to figure that connection between your contribution and the direct benefit and impact. So I think it's a long road ahead, but it's a positive start.
All right. Well, with that, I think I'll probably say goodbye and log on to Google Arts and Culture and do my share. Thank you once again, Amit, for joining us this morning here on New Day.